All right, good evening and blessings out there, Facebook. Hey, what's going on? It's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, so glad to come to you on this Saturday afternoon. Listen, your boy Ty. I've been out in that sun way too long. Y'all see this little bronze color I got on me now. But yeah, I got to go lay it down a little bit. But here's the thing. We had a tremendous event there in Memphis at Liberty Church of God in Christ, where they had the Tennessee Southwest Ames Department had their annual Blitz on the block. And that was just basically a community block party where everybody came out. It was free food. It was a phenomenal event. And so we were there. Those you don't know, I'm actually the president of evangelism for the Tennessee Southwest jurisdiction. So, but I was there, but we also brought generational wealth builders because we want people to know exactly what it is that we do. And so one of the questions, there were a couple questions that came out today, and we wanted to make sure that we actually addressed that, because as I was chatting and chopping it up with some of the saints there that were coming by the table, some of them were surprised when they got the answer that they got. And here's the thing about me. When I tell you something, I'm not just telling you something because I just pulled it out the sky. I'm not just telling you some regurgitated something or other that I heard. I can show you brass tacks. That's one of the things that I've made sure in my career that I want to do. I like to be right, not from a narcissistic standpoint, but more so from the standpoint when you understand that you're dealing with people's lives, when you're dealing with people's livelihoods. I want to be right, period and point blank. And so we're talking a little bit about whole life insurance. And a lot of people were saying, well, like whole life insurance, because it stays with me for my whole life, right? It stays with me. So therefore, that's a good insurance to have, right? And I had to basically let them know that whole life is a dumpster fire. There's no other nice way for me to say it. It is a dumpster fire. Now, here we go again. I respect it because it is life insurance and it does protect families. But here's what you have to understand. There is something better when you want something in a more permanent role. And as a result of that, what has happened is a lot of times people have just not been exposed to stuff that is actually available, or to products and services that are actually available that are much better than the whole life product. And so what I'm going to attempt to do today is share with you in these few minutes that we're together. I'm going to share with you exactly why I said that whole life is a dumpster fire, and I want to see if you agree with me or not. You don't have to agree with me. You could be like, Rod, you're full of it, man, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to present an objective summary. And again, you let me know, right? So let's talk a little bit about insurance. So there's really only a couple types of insurance in the market. So you have primarily you have term, which is for a specific term, right? From one period to another one. And what term life insurance allows you to do, it allows you to get a lot of life insurance for a relatively low premium, right? So you can get a lot of life insurance, $100,000 or $250,000, 300,000, $500,000, $1 million worth of life insurance for a relatively low premium. Now, here's what I want you to understand about that, folks, is that when that term ends, unless it has a rider in there that's going to allow you to convert it over to a permanent policy, once that term ends, that's it. All the money that you paid into that term is dead and gone, right? Now, there's a variation of term where there's a rider that's available called return of premium. And what that means is at the end of that term policy, the money that you put into there, you're going to get back, right? It's not a cash value policy. It doesn't build any cash value or anything like that. But what it's going to do is going to actually pay you that money back. Now, I'm only saying that because I'm getting to the point about whole life insurance, right? So most time when people think about permanent insurance, the first thing they know or the first thing that they say is whole life insurance. Now, whole life insurance does have some benefits. It does have some pros. But when I show you the index universal life and we do a side-by-side comparison, I hope that you'll see exactly why I say it's a dumpster fire. Now, I'm going to share my screen real quick because I want you all to be able to see exactly what it is that or the reason why I say it is a dumpster fire. So if you can see my screen here. Now, again, like I say, I am an objective guy. When I say something, I'm not just saying it for one or two, or to hide anything. I like to make sure that people can make a clear, conscientious decision for what their family's needs are. Now, as you can see right here, it says pros and cons of whole life insurance just at a glance. Now, one of the pros is that it's permanent. The premiums are never going to increase. The death benefit will not decrease. That is true, right? You can build, but this is where it starts to get a little dicey, right? So it says you can build tax deferred cash value at a guaranteed rate. That is true. That's why people like the whole life insurance policy. Again, because it builds cash value. But notice here, it's saying it may build slower or may grow slower than other permanent policies, right? So basically what that means is you're paying your money in, but it's growing slower, right, than other permanent policies. But we'll look at that here in a second. Let's go down. It says, notice what it says, where it says cash can be borrowed without a credit check, right? Meaning the cash value that's in that account, it can be borrowed with no credit check, right? However, notice this here. The con against that is that the loan against the policy are charged interest. It is a loan, but it's supposed to be your money, right? However, it could be a loan. Notice what it said the next one. You can draw your money from your policy, and it said you may have to pay money on the taxes or policy and stuff like that. So let's move on down. So what I've done is I went and pulled the example of a whole life policy. And I want you to kind of take a look at this, right? So looking at this particular policy, right? What it's showing us is this is for a 45-year-old man. And so notice his annual premium totals about $1,958.88. So total for $1,959, right? So it's about $100 and some odd, $160 some dollars a month, somewhere there about, right? Now, the annual dividend is $10. The net cash value increase is $10. The net cash value is $10. And notice how much that they actually put toward the death benefit. $10, right? Okay. So let's watch this. The next year, the next cash value increase was $11. So you got $21. Okay. That's all good, right? But look at the cash value in the policy, right? Don't match up, but it's all good. Now, year number 3, look at that cash value. Woo. You had a net cash value or increase of $1,387, but look at the cash value. That math, that's that janky math right there. I call that the millennial math. That's that math you got to go all around and try to make it fit, and it still don't fit. Let's look at the next year. Year number 4 into this policy. The policy gains $1,488, but look, the net cash value is $2,895. But look at there. Look at the death benefit. The death benefit is only $97 above what you started out with. And look, that does that year over year over year. Now, I just went down to 66 and notice, even though this individual has $45,000 in cash value tied to this policy, look at how much the death benefit is. Now, I ain't the smartest dude in the world, but I can tell you, I was in Arthur Tucker class, Coach Arthur Tucker class there at Hardin High School, and he would have had a cow if I would have tried to explain how this right here makes sense. How in the world does the cash value equal $45,000, but the death benefit only equals $105,000? And it goes right back to what they told us right here, folks, is that the interest, like if you borrow that money, it's a loan. It is a loan. And that loan will have to be paid back. So let's go back down. So here is showing that it has $45,000 that they're saying is available. But guess what, folks? If that family said, hey, you know what? We need this $45,000, need a new roof, want to buy a boat, want to enjoy our life. We have $45,000 in our cash value in our life insurance policy. Let's get that. Let's make this happen. Bada boom, bada bing. God forbid, but before they pay that money back, because it is a loan. But before they pay that money back, that person passes. Do you not know that they're going to take whatever was not paid back out of that $105,000? Yes, I said it. So let's do some simple math here. If the policy is worth 105, but you took out a loan for 45, that means that basically they're going to take $40,000. So that family going to get a little over $60,000, maybe, depending on the interest, right? The family only going to get $60,000. How is that? That's how whole life has been beating families for a long, long time. That right there is how they've been getting for a long time. Because you think, and if you look at it, I got a $100,000 policy with a $40,000 cash value. I got $140,000 worth of life insurance. That's the way it seems, folks, but that's not it. And see, here's what you got to understand. You've got to make sure that the person, that the agent that you're dealing with is honest with you, will show you the truth, right? That's one thing about me. We're not desperate. None of the generational wealth builders are to the point where we're desperate to try to get a sale that will mislead our clients. That's never going to happen. I promise. I'll tell you, listen, if you don't want to do something immoral, illegal, look here, fam, there's the door right there. Go ahead on and find it yourself. Right? Because that's not why we're here. We do great business here. Now, let's go back to the screen. I'm going to show you the Index Universal Life. Now, let me start off by saying before I get started, there is no perfect product out there, but this one is a lot better. And I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of this one as well. So let me get back to my screen real quick. So we go here. Hey, Sharon, what's going on, Charlotte? Super proud of you. Super proud of you, what you're doing now. So let's go back to our screen. So now what we want to do, let's take a look at a Index Universal Life policy, right? So if you can see my screen, we got another 45-year-old man. Now notice right off the muscle now, the annual premium is $1,681 for him, but this one is $1,959. I'm gonna say that again. The whole life policy is more than this policy right here. You see where I'm coming from? So off the muscle, 1681, that's okay. The first year, the accumulated value that they're going to give to this policy is $987. And oh, by the way, look at here. At the death benefit, it's the $987. Okay. The next year's 2014. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. 2014, 3085. So we're starting to see the policy start to the cash value matching the actual death benefit. So let's take a look at this. So first thing first, I want to bring your attention to less money, 1681 versus 1900, right? Now that may not, that little 200 some dollars may not mean nothing to somebody, but to some people it means something. But look at here. So for $200 less, you end up with the cash value of $2,000 more. You see that? So this is what it was saying earlier up there. There are some permanent policies that grow cash much better, and that's the Index Universal Life policy. Now, here's the kicker that I want you to see. If what the client said, hey man, look at here, I need $40,000, man, whatever the case may be. Are you aware that now that death benefit would be the 107? Whatever left behind what they did not take is what the death benefit would be. And that's why I tell all our clients, and I use a different word, it's not a cuss word, it's a 5-letter word that starts with the T and ends with rash. That's how I feel about a whole life policy. Now, again, there are some people who need a whole life policy, right? So again, those people, I tell them, do not borrow against that policy. Please do not borrow against that policy because it's not designed to work for you. And I believe I just showed you that. Now, here's the thing about an Index Universal Life policy. You have the opportunity to overfund that policy, right? And what I mean by overfunding, that simply means that you can put more money into that policy to allow that cash value to grow. And a lot of those policies do require that, right? But at the same time, you get your money and you get the growth from it. So that's where it allows our clients to be able to save, grow, and make money. That's the trifecta that we go for here at Generational Wealth Builders and with all the other agencies that are working with us. We want you to be in the best position financially, right? Again, God forbid if something would happen. Now, listen, with our policies, they have the living benefits rider. And all that means is, God forbid, if someone is diagnosed with a critical, a chronic, or a terminal illness or injury, you can get access to that death benefit. Imagine if you would. Somebody has a $500,000 policy, husband, wife, they got some children, stuff like this here. Get some bad news. Husband have a heart attack. Wife have a stroke. Can't work. Things of that nature. Our insurance policy with that living benefit rider is going to say, hey, bro, look here. Sorry about what you're going through. Look at here. You got this $500,000 policy. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you up to 80% of that. Boom. Tax-free cash money while you're still alive. Come on here, somebody. Tell me that that's not going to help you. Tell me that ain't going to help you. Tell me that's not going to help that family going through that situation. That's what we do here. That's why I keep saying poverty ends with Generational Wealth Builders, because the products and the services that we have are designed to eradicate poverty. It's designed to do it. And that's why we're growing the way that we're growing. That's why we have so many agents that are coming on board. I'm super excited to announce we're going to be doing something in Dyersburg before long, because we got an agent coming along out there. I can't wait to introduce this fellow to everybody, because he's about to do some amazing things. Anytime you find an entrepreneur that says, you know what, man, I'm ready to put my job on skates. You know, I'm ready to give my job the pink slip because I'm ready to invest in me. That's when you know you got somebody serious. Again, down in Daytona Beach. Got my cousin, Lady Gloria Banks. Again, she's coming online down there. Again, so again, we're getting ready to take that whole 95 South Corridor all the way down, all the way from Daytona, all the way down. We're coming, right? We got Richard and Lamisha Hughes, the power team down there. Port St. Lucie finna jump on the map. I'm telling y'all this now. Call me a prophet. Hey, glory. But I'm telling you right now, y'all finna see this stuff take place. They're in the Hinesville, Georgia area, Fort Stewart. I told you we got some power teams out there. We got Davin and Shanithia Powell that are out there coming along, licensed agents. We got Miss Frida Martin, just has the heart of a lion, the heart of a champion out there. One of our newest babies there, Lady Justina Walker, coming online, working with them team right there. And that trifecta right there is about to do some amazing things. Again, then we're getting ready to move toward the Augusta, Georgia area. So again, Generational Wealth Builders is doing a whole lot right now. Y'all pray for your boy. Pray for your boy, because again, we're doing some great things. And then right here in Covington, Tennessee, we just had our newest licensed agent, Miss Pamela Versa. So excited for this lady here. And we're in some talks about some other things, because we're actually about to hire our very first office coordinator because we're growing so much. And so again, just some great things going on here with the Generational Wealth Builders. But I wanted to share that with you all on today, because again, I want you to be always informed, right? People are going to sell you what they want you to have. And let me just say this here while I'm already on my tangent, right? Y'all know how I do. Listen, just because you see it on TV don't mean it's true, right? Let me say that one more time, because I know you weren't listening. Just because you see it on TV does not mean it's true. Watch the stuff that they're doing on you now. Watch this. Why I say that? Let me tell you why. So people will see a commercial where they say, hey, we can get you a $500,000 term policy for $10, $15 a month. And people be like, yeah, I can get $10, $15 a month. Did you read the fine print? If you didn't read the fine print, that's on the screen, because it's got to be on there. TiVo it and go back and look at it. And it'll tell you, oh, yeah, that's probably only a 10-year term. You got to be below a certain or between a certain age. That's how that works. They're not just telling you can get a $500,000 for 30 years for $10 a month. Are you crazy? That don't make common sense, and so don't make business sense. And so that's why what we love to do here, especially if you're in the Covington area, we love to sit down with our clients. That's why we have these offices. We have 2 offices here with a litany of clients that'll be able to help you find the best policy for your money, right? And again, we also do life insurance retirement planning. So we do the 403Bs as well. We have a company where we can do the 403Bs or the 457. So again, we have everything that you need here at Generational Wealth Builders. And again, I would caution you, find one of the Generational Wealth Builders. Let me tell you about another young lady, Miss Sharon Russell, who just launched her business called Prosperity in Motion. I love that name. Prosperity in Motion, which literally means watch what she got going on. You watch what she's doing and see how she's making it happen, Captain. So again, we're super excited because we're not just harnessing people here. We're helping people go and birth out businesses, birth out their own brokerages to go and be great. That's what we do here at the Generational Wealth Builder. So again, we're super excited about each one of you. We're super excited to be doing this. We're super excited to be serving you in all that we do. So again, it's your man, Rod Hickman, Generational Wealth Builders. I hope, and again, put some comments in the chat for me and let me know. Do you think that whole life is a dumpster fire? And again, maybe you disagree. Maybe you say, "No, man, it ain't. It's the best thing since sliced bread." I'd love to see why, especially if we're talking about the cash value portion of it, because the question that's going to come up that I'm going to hit somebody with the bot gun with is, well, if the family doesn't get that $40,000, who does? Yeah. That's the question I'm going to hit somebody with. Well, if the family don't get the cash value, or if they take the cash value, the insurance company take it back, what the world? What we really got going on? And I can tell you, one of the top agents that we have coming along right now, especially in this local area, is Sharon Russell. So again, reach out to Sharon Russell. If you know her, you can reach out to us, whatever the case may be. That's who you want to get in contact with. She is an expert in this stuff. And so listen, we appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Remember, knowledge is power only once it's applied. You can have an 18-wheeler truck. You can have it gassed up. You can have it loaded up. And you can rev that engine. But if it's not in drive, it's just going to sit there. But once you apply that clutch, put that thing in gear, it's going to take off. So again, your man, Rod Hickman. Love y'all so much. Appreciate you. Y'all take care. God bless. Bye-bye now.